In this episode, we are going to show you something that's I consider very brave for Vinny to do, which is a weigh-in. A person's weight is a very personal thing, and for him to be filming it and recording it and then sharing it on YouTube, in my opinion, is very brave. I really give him a lot of credit for doing that.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I haven't weighed myself in like a year and a half.
It's okay, well, we're just doing it now. Go ahead.
Yeah, but everyone's gonna see how much I weigh.
Hi everyone, hope everybody is doing well. We would like to say thank you very much. We got such amazing responses from the last episode, a lot of encouragement, great feedback. And so if you haven't seen the previous video, please go back and look at that, because this episode we're going to build more on what we talked about last time.
But first things first, looks like we got our first major Atlantic hurricane.
Hurricane Florence, the strongest hurricane in the Atlantic right now, and Bermuda could start feeling its effects as early as Friday. Winds 115 miles per hour. It is a Category 3.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I haven't weighed myself in like a year and a half.
It's okay, well, we're just doing it now. Go ahead.
Yeah, but everyone's gonna see how much I weigh.
Well, that's the point, so go ahead, it's okay.
I do want to fulfill my sailing dream. Why do I have to go on this diet?
You're getting old. You wear it out. You wear it out.
Wearing out like my car's brake pads or the tread on the tires?
So the most important thing is to lose the weight.
Okay.
The weight, because your knee sees 10 times your body weight in force. Small, you lose 15 pounds, your knee thinks you lost 150 pounds.
Wow. If this is the first sailing nervous video that you've watched, as I started to get a lot of pain in my leg, and the doctor said that my knees were deteriorating, the cartilage was 75% gone on one of them. My hips also are degenerating. Instead of surgery, I want to see if I can lose weight.
So those small changes, that'll give you the most longevity out of the knee. If you keep the weight down, the knee will last longer.
All right, here we go. Hopefully I'm like 200, 199 maybe, 205 max. I told the doctor I was 205.
Well, we'll see. It's never easy, but it's worth it. And so everything that's worth it takes a little bit of effort. I think that it's also something that can really encourage a lot of other people to be vulnerable about acknowledging something that they struggle with. And when you acknowledge something and you share it with other people, then it's amazing the kind of support that you can get from others. And so I know that based on the comments from many episodes, but specifically the last one when Vinny shared some of his recent physical problems, there was a tremendous amount of positive response to him and to us, and I really appreciate that. And I think that positive encouragement is something we all like to have in our lives. And so I think as you move along with us and Vinny does these weekly weigh-ins, even reading the other people's comments, that things that they've overcome or ways they've overcome certain things is also encouraging for other people to hear. It's being vulnerable, it's sharing what works for you and maybe what you didn't overcome yet. That also encourages people to just, it's okay to be human and not be perfect. And so I think that's a great thing to always remember. And so I'm really proud of Vinny for doing this. I think it's actually a great idea. I think it gives him, like a lot of people, something that you have a difficulty with and matched with something that you have a passion for. And if you can put those two things together, it can actually give you energy to overcome obstacles. So I'm actually looking forward to see how this is going to all turn out, and I'm really encouraged about it.
You want me to be skinny? Well, I showed the people how you eat like a normal person, but you never gain weight. People like me who were like, eat normal. I guess we do overeat though.
No, you don't eat normal. No, you don't. You don't eat normal. No, you think that you're still 19 years old. So no, you don't eat normal.
Well, I ate whatever I wanted when I was 19 years old.
You eat whatever you want now.
I'm not 19?
No.
How
your
old am
body knows it.
My mind is still 19.
And your 19-year-old body didn't like it either, but had a lot of resources to overcome it. So
you don't think that DNA has anything to do with whether you're thin?
Totally, it does. It definitely has something to do with it, but it's not the only
factor. Talk about that. So talk about how it's nice to be naturally thin.
Because I've been overweight. Several times in my life I have gained a lot more weight than I wanted to.
If you have babies, so that's different. When
when I worked the night shift. When I worked night shift for a period of time, it totally messed up my metabolism, and I gained quite a few pounds just by simply changing my shift and doing night shift for however long I did, a couple months, and it totally gained weight. And I have to make a conscious effort to change something. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to always get what you already got, whatever that saying is. So
even someone like you who naturally does not have a bad lifestyle, you don't drink, you don't overeat, you're not overweight, but yet you still do things that maintain your health, and you don't think it's related to your DNA or to your genes.
I think a person's weight is linked to both their DNA, predisposition, and their lifestyle. And it's both. It's not one and it's not the other. I have some genetic predispositions on my side of the family that tends to some of the people in my family were pretty lean because they have a high metabolism. They're energized, they're hardworking and busy, and so they had more genetic space, so to speak, to get away with maybe not so good lifestyle choices. But it does catch up with you eventually.
So I don't mean to put you on the spot, but as a nurse, is there like an age cutoff where at a certain age, is there an age cutoff time?
I'm not an expert in that. When I was working in geriatric nursing, there were people who were thin when they were younger and they were heavy now that they were older, and I had the people who were thin when they were younger and just as thin as when they were older. So it's truly just a combination of your lifestyle habits and your genetics. And I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all thing. I think there's patterns. I think if you do it or don't do certain things, there's patterns. But like I said, I've seen 90-year-olds who are thin and trim, and I've seen 40-year-olds who have a real difficulty based on lifestyle choices. So I think it can go both ways.
Any young person has no excuse for just go to the track and start running, go to the gym. But what about when they get older, and how do they raise their heart rate in a way to get that aerobic workout to begin to burn calories?
Well, I think it will be different based on whatever the physical limitations are. I know that in my experience, if you are ambulatory and you are able to walk, then you do as much of that as is safe for you to do. And if not, I think one thing that I saw in the rehab units that I worked in, physical rehab units, were stationary bicycles, because you can then use your large leg muscles and get aerobic activity that way without actually hurting joints or causing pressure, especially if you're not going to be able to walk distances. You can still move your legs, and sometimes they even have stationary bikes where there's somewhat of a passive range of motion where it can actually keep your legs moving without you having to make a lot of effort, but you still get that aerobic exercise and you get that muscle use in your legs. So this is not a medical advice video, but I'm just saying what I have seen. I know that upper arm exercises, if you're not real ambulatory, we used to do upper arm exercises. Anything that you do is just something that builds your body strength. So even if it's just hitting something back and forth. There was one gentleman, he just liked to just throw a ping pong ball back and forth in his room, just because he actually was more of a juggler when he was younger. But it was just something that he did. It was upper body strength. He was paralyzed from the waist down, and he just did that, and it was mentally engaging for him, but it was also physically. He would do it for like 15-20 minutes, and it kept him involved. And I think that's one of the biggest things. If you throw your hands up and give up, you can't succeed. But if you do something and you're willing to just do it consistently, even if it's just like for me, I stopped purchasing mint chocolate chip ice cream because I have no defense against mint chocolate chip ice cream. So if I don't buy it, I can't eat it. So that's one thing that I've done. It's tiny. It's a tiny, small thing. But anybody that knows me knows that I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. And so as long as I don't buy it, I can't overeat it. So so even if it's just one small thing, it's something that is like giving love to your body as far as I'm concerned.
Well, thank you very much, Nurse Amy, and we appreciate your input. Thank you.
You'll have fun editing it, so that'll be good. We done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Thanks, hon. That's perfect.